Hello, my name is Robert, and you're watching The Firing Line on VEGASET. Hello, and welcome to The Firing Line. Today in the news, we've got a bunch of stuff bouncing around. You've got Congress looking into some of Biden's people. His Attorney General is saying stuff not knowing if illegal immigration is illegal when it has it in the name. You've got his health secretary or something like that he's wanting, saying that as soon as a child is being born, you can still take them out. You can still abort them, which is seriously insane. Which I do say a lot, but it is. Back in the last 4 years, the Trump administration has been against the death of kids, preborn children, as they can be called. Mainly, after 25 weeks, every kid is viable due to all the current medical technology we have. Every kid is viable. They all feel pain. That has been verified by science. Yet, Democrats, specifically people that are Biden's putting in, want to be able to end their lives in the third trimester and up to birth, electively, not even medical necessity, but because you just feel like it. And, of course, everyone's heard about Governor Northam's, I don't know if you'd call it a misspeak or what, about if the child survives, ask the parents about killing the child after they're already born. Yeah, how about no? The bullcrap that goes on. The Democrats in New York have even gone into that abortion issue. After-birth abortions, that's straight up murder. Because there is no such thing as aborting after birth. It is murdering after birth. Now, back to the Congress part. Another part that the Attorney General that Biden was looking into, Merrick Garland, who was not allowed to become a Supreme Court justice because of McConnell in 2016, because in 2014 the elections had consequences, and that was that consequence. And in 2018, consequence of that was Amy Coney Barrett, as well as in 2016 it was, well, her, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh, but that's beside the point. But Merrick Garland, Biden's putting them up, and the Attorney General is saying that destroying federal buildings is not a crime at night, but during the day it is. That it's terrorism depending on the time of day. No, that is not true. And people were looking into the definition of riots and insurrection and everything like that. An insurrection is trying to take over a government. Insurrection requires people to be armed. A protest or riot does not. The people at the Capitol on the 6th of January were not armed, so therefore it was not an insurrection because it was impossible to take over a building and take over a country because a building got taken over. And a building didn't really even get taken over. Once they got inside, there was no plan. There was no plan in general. It was just instigators outside trying to get people inside. And Sullivan, the Antifa man, the guy who was an Antifa cell leader, got put up for that. And just like, oh, he's Antifa? Release him. Oh, he's on our side? Release him. He's a Democrat? Release him. The Republican? Put him in jail. All of them. And that's what's been going on. And this Attorney General is basically saying the same thing. You get to be imprisoned based on what political party you are. Democrats, all good. Republicans, we coming after all of you. That's what they're saying. That is bullcrap. When you see this stuff, it's no different than the 1940s Germany. So Gina Carano, who put that one meme out, was right. Trump supporters are just like the Jewish population in Germany. Democrats and their biased political media that they own, CNN, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, what may have you, all the mainstream media, as they call them, we're all spouting the same things, trying to get people to be riled up and mad at people who supported President Trump. So if you voted for Trump, they want you, well, as MSNBC put it, bombed by a drone. And it is absolutely abhorrent. Absolutely abhorrent. And you hear about things that are quite crazy too. And I actually have a segment I'd like to show you.
Mexicans or people from Honduras. It is about cheap immigrant labor.
Yep.
And it used to be, who was it? Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders warned about how the Koch brothers supported open immigration because it would work great for their big corporations.
Yeah, you get some dude who comes in working below minimum wage, no benefits because they're off the books, under the table, and then you basically have an underclass. Then Vox.com, the progressive website, wrote in 2016 the Democratic Party is becoming the party of the wealthy elites. So it's no surprise then the Democrats are the ones who are now saying, oh, we got to have more immigration and open borders. It's remarkable. Trump ran on the Republican ticket saying border security, no free trade. And it worked because regular Americans were like, yeah, I like this idea of, America first. The big business special interest corporations and the ultra wealthy were like, how am I going to hire ultra cheap labor with no rights if the Republican is doing this? All of a sudden the Democrats were now like, yeah, open borders. Even though what, 2008, 2010, you had Democrats who were like, we have to build a border security barrier.
That was the 2006, the Secure Fence Act. Joe Biden voted for that fence.
So you're calling Joe Biden a racist?
Oh, snap.
I think he called himself that.
Yeah,
But so even with all that, and that's why when they're saying, President Trump's not
This just
building
became
any
a
fences,
reaction
well,
video.
the one that was built in 2006 was basically just glorified chicken wire, and it can be easily cut into within minutes.
Right.
And and so this new one that they're replacing, along with areas where there was no barrier, it takes hours, and the whole point is to slow them down and to actually get Border Patrol agents to that area so that they can either stop them or arrest them. And so it's just a lot of misinformation, a lot of rhetoric, as it typically does. But I've been there. I've been all over El Paso, Laredo, San Diego, and it's just amazing when you're actually there and you see it and you see the difference. It's just amazing.
It's remarkable how the Democrats really rely on you not knowing anything.
Yeah.
And so they'll be like, Donald Trump didn't build new border wall, he only replaced existing wall. If you've never seen it, you're imagining there's this giant wall and Trump comes in and just takes out a wall and puts in a wall and nothing changed. And then when you actually look at it, the original wall was like some fence posts with a single log across it.
Oh, yeah.
That you could just walk in limbo under.
Yeah.
And then Trump put triple reinforced, barricades with CBP in between. And it's like, yeah, those are very different things.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, yeah, but Trump should be building new wall, it's like, but those are the hot spots that the Trump supporters wanted secured.
Right.
So Trump wasn't giving his supporters a 30-foot big, beautiful concrete wall from sea to shining sea paid for by Mexico, but he was reinforcing areas with, strong security and a border wall where it was most effective.
Needless to say, that is quite a bit of a good point. The Democrats rely on you not knowing anything, so they can tell you whatever they want for you to believe it. And then they put it through their biased media, so you have no regular choice in what to believe unless you see media that you normally don't watch because you think it's biased and fake. Because the actual fake news is telling you not to watch it. But yeah, the whole thing's crazy, and there's a lot more to come. So I'll see you in my next segment.